The following video is based on the 2.0 version of Cyberpunk. If you're playing on an older title update, please be aware that some of the strategies may not work the same. Hey everyone, thanks for checking out my video on how to unlock each combat trophy and achievement in Cyberpunk. This video will be based off the 2.0 version of the game, which allows for one full respec, including attribute points. If you've already used your one respec, you can still perform all of these. However, please be aware that it will require you to perform the actions a little different than normal and can make this much harder overall. If you're playing an older version, then the only way to follow the guide is to make sure you don't use all the attribute points too early, as then you won't have enough to acquire certain perks in cyberware. To get started, you can perform these in any location with enemies, but I recommend the NCPD alert area in Watson. This can be accessed very early in the game, and I also recommend you play on normal difficulty. If you've already cleared this section, then I recommend you go a little bit farther down the street to a second location where you can also grind out these challenges. Before starting any challenge, make sure to make a backup save so you can reload once you complete a trophy, so you don't need to reset the area by waiting. Regain your eddies, and have your respec available again. I'll begin with the revolver challenges, which include the simplest and easiest way to get GunFu is to simply knock out 3 enemies with your fist or blunt weapons. A good way to tell if they're still alive after you knock them out is to draw your weapon and see if the cursor turns red. Once you do, line them up so they're as close as possible to touching, and then take aim and quickly take them out. You can use any revolver for this, so don't worry if you have a common one. For the Gunslinger challenge, back away from an enemy as much as you can and aim into the air. This way, once they start throwing a grenade, you're already aiming in the general direction, which makes it very easy to hit. Once you take out the grenade, follow up by taking out the enemy that threw it, and you'll get the right back at your trophy. For this next achievement, you're going to need a tech sniper. You can buy a tech sniper from most vendors, and as the weapon automatically pierces everything it hits, it'll make taking out 2 enemies with one shot much easier. I recommend you damage their health enough so the next shot takes them both out. Once they're low, aim for the body shot, but technically you can aim it wherever. For this next trophy, you're gonna need to buy the Second Heart cyberware, which you can buy for 70,000 eddies and have a street cred level of 49. To get this one's very simple. All you need to do is just damage the enemy until they're almost out, and then just let them take you out. Once you get back up, get the final hits in, and then you'll get this one. This next trophy, Rough Landing, used to be very difficult on older title updates, but thankfully it's been patched and is much easier. This one has a few prep steps before you can fully commit to it. First, you need to unlock the superhero landing ability, which you can unlock in 2 ways. Method 1 is leveling up the body attribute to level 15. This will then unlock the Quake perk. Level that up to level 3, which then unlocks the superhero landing for a command ability. You can also unlock the superhero landing skill by purchasing the iconic Zeta Tech Berserk cyberware. After having the skill available, one way or another, I highly recommend you get a higher jump cyberware, such as double jump or the power jump. This will allow you to control when you trigger the superhero landing instead of trying to find a high ledge to jump off of. Now that you have the prep skills ready, you need to buy a Berserk cyberware. It doesn't matter which one, so choose whatever fits your budget. Finally, choose a 2-handed melee weapon. It can be a bat or a hammer. Once you start trying for the trophy, I recommend you weaken the enemies and leave them with minimal HP. Once you have, trigger Berserk, double jump, or charge jump, and then press LB or L1 to trigger the superhero landing. Depending on your damage, you might just turn everyone to paste once you land. For this next one, you can do it one of 2 ways. The active way of doing this is using any Sandevistan and triggering it manually when you get into fights. The other, more passive method, requires you to equip the Synaptic Accelerator cyberware that slows time down when you're about to be spotted. Simply take out enemies when time is slowed and you should get it with no issues. This one is incredibly easy and only needs the cyber deck to work. Simply hold LB or L1 to bring up the hack menu and aim it at a hackable object, such as a window, radio, or vending machine that is near an enemy while not in combat. Luckily, it doesn't need to be done in a row, so feel free to work on it as you play. For the final trophy of this video, you need to take out 3 enemies with the detonate grenade quick hack. For this trophy only, I highly recommend you attempt it on easy, make sure you fully respec into the intelligence tree, and go to this portion of Pacifica. The first thing you need is to get the detonate grenade quick hack, of which there are a few ways to obtain. You can get it as a reward by hacking data terminals as a level 3 reward, you can get it as a drop from Netrunner NPCs, or you can purchase it from the Netrunner vendor. The reason I recommend this particular spot is that it can help you get the detonate grenade in 2 of 3 ways. Once you arrive here, simply take out the 6 enemies here, and there will be a chance that one of them will possibly drop the quick hack. If you take them all out and they don't drop it, simply run back to the quick travel location here, and then run back to get them to all respawn. It took me about 10 to 15 minutes of grinding before they dropped the schematic. Depending on your level, the enemies here will either drop the quick hack itself, or they drop the crafting schematic. Should you be unable to get the hack directly, or you don't have the components to craft it, you can also buy it directly from the Netrunner vendor at Kabuki for 120,000 eddies. I suggest you sell the gear that is dropped while trying to grind for this one, and then use those funds to buy it as a last resort. The next step is to make sure you have a cyber deck of purple tier or higher, as you can't use the detonate grenade quick hack on lower level decks. Again, if you need the components to upgrade it, I suggest you scrap the gear you've accumulated by farming this in Pacifica. I simply upgraded the starter deck instead of buying a new one as I was too low level. Once you have it, make sure you respec into the intelligence tree and get as many of the damage boosting skills as you can, as the detonate grenade quick hack is not very good after the 2.0 update and requires a lot of work to be viable. Once you're ready, return to Pacifica and use the distract enemy on the TV, then enable overclock. Make sure you upload detonate grenade on all 3 enemies as they have EMPs and won't do too much damage. This also prevents the other 2 from running away once they notice the grenade going off. If done right, the second grenade should take them all out, but if not, the third one will finish the job. If you found this video helpful, then consider giving it a like as it really helps on my channel. Thanks for watching and have a great day.